So next on stage, I will invite Tracy, and she's going to talk to us about breaking barriers and how do we integrate revenue management with marketing in everything we do. So Tracy, welcome.
Hello, testing. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a fantastic morning with lots of energies and great insight. So I'm very excited to be here today, since it has been a while that I was on stage with HSMAI conferences. So I'm happy to be back and also to see a lot of familiar faces and old friends. Okay, so I'm here today to talk about breaking barriers. Specifically speaking, how do we use the right type of AI to bridge the gap between hotel marketing and revenue management? We will cover 3 topics today. Firstly, we'll talk about selecting the right AI for the right job, which is revenue optimization. And then we explore the disconnect between hotel revenue management and marketing and why the silo persists. And finally, we'll offer a 3-step framework for demand optimization, as well as technology advancement. So let's begin with the big question. How can we apply AI in hotels? So we know generative AI has been making headlines, and it's not just a hype. So tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot have been adopted by many industries, including hospitality. So a quick show of hands, how many of you have already been using these tools in your daily work? Raise your hand. Great, I can see about more than half of the room. So AI really improves work efficiency, isn't it? But here's the thing. AI isn't a passing trend. It's here to stay. If we think back to the year 2000, that's where the internet started to take off and later change everything. And now we're at the same turning point. We're really only at the beginning of the AI era. And in the next 20 years, our life will be completely changed by AI. So AI creates a lot of excitement, but in the meanwhile, it creates confusion. So what is generative AI anyway? And most importantly, how do we apply it in the way that help hotels to drive better demand and revenue? So today, let's cut through the buzz and really to look at how AI, especially the right type of AI, to help us to drive demand and revenue. So there's a lot of terms around AI, and it all sounds familiar. But what do all these things mean? AI, artificial intelligence, it basically refers to a technology that mimics human intelligence. For example, learning, reasoning, problem solving, or decision making. Well, analytics, in a short word, is basically to use data to gain insight. There's 2 types of analytics. The first type is descriptive analytics, like the BI tools or dashboard that you're using. It describes what has happened. And the other type is prescriptive analytics, like a revenue management system. It recommends actions to take. And how about generative AI versus mathematical algorithms? So generative AI focuses on creating new contents such like text, images, music, or even coding by learning through massive data sets. While mathematical AI, another word, is called machine learning. It's a processed set of instructions that used to solve specific problems, relying on logic and computation. So what can AI do for hotels today and tomorrow? Let's look at some use cases. That AI is already reshaping how we operate in hotels, both behind the scene and in front of the guests. Hotels are using AI-powered chatbot to reply to guest queries in real time and in multiple languages. And hotels has also been using AI to summarize online guest reviews or to analyze the social media trends. In digital marketing's world, traditional search relies on keywords, but AI-powered semantic search actually understands the guest intent behind the scene. Let me make an example. If a guest tap on your website and saying, I want a quiet stay with spa and good food. Semantic search actually understands the intent behind this query. The guest is actually looking for a peaceful, wellness-focused experience rather than any hotel with a spa. So imagine in the near future that AI powers smart marketing. If a guest chats with your AI assistant and says, I'm planning for a romantic getaway with my partner, we enjoy good views, and we enjoy boutique vibes. And then your AI assistant could actually put together a customized experience with a booking link. How does it work? It pulls the room type availability from your PMS system. It looks at the guest history in your CRM data and pulls dynamic pricing from revenue management system. It also looks at on-property amendments as well as restaurant offerings. It sounds fantastic, isn't it? And AI will also improve operations and guest service to bring it to the next level. But I know for this group of leaders, commercial leaders, what you care the most is how do I use AI, especially the right type of AI, to drive demand and revenue. So let's take a closer look. Let's do a fun test. How many of you think generative AI is good at math? Raise your hand. Only a few, maybe, yes, not sure, yes. So if you ask generative AI, either ChatGPT or Gemini, a math question, a large number set, if you ask it, can you multiply 1,234,567 by itself? Guess what? You might get a wrong answer. Try it out later if you don't believe me. I did try it. But why is that? Because generative AI isn't great at math. It learns patterns through massive data set and patterns, not logic. At Ideas, we have been using mathematical AI, also called machine learning, for the travel industry for the last 35 years. And these tools are built for structured, data-driven tasks like revenue forecasting. They are purposely built, tested, and customized for hospitality industry to solve specific problems. For example, to predict demand forecast, to look into price sensitivity, and to produce dynamic pricing, dynamic discount, to look into component rooms, inventory controls, and so on and so forth. And mathematical AI also drives prescriptive analytics behind the scene in the revenue management system to produce higher level of forecast accuracy as well as pricing decisions. So in a short word, mathematical AI is proven to be the right AI for revenue optimization. So let's look at another important topic in revenue management, forecasting. So how many of you love forecasting in the room? Raise your hand. Yes, like we have a lot of revenue professionals here, right? That's what we do. So how many of you think it's an easy task? Not really, because demand forecasting is really complex. And then how many of you think your forecast is 100% accurate? I don't see anybody. Yes. Yeah, so because forecast is really complex, it's not an easy task. You do need support from the system or tools. But interestingly, in hotel industry, a lot of times we set a single target for our task, for our forecast, and measure accuracy around it. It makes sense for financial forecasts or operational forecasts, but it doesn't quite make sense for demand forecasts. Why is that? There's two types of forecasting. Deterministic forecasting that gives a single number and then assume everything stays constant. So like you predict your June occupancy will reach 85% at the end. And then there's stochastic forecasting. So that produce a range of outcomes and its associated probability. For example, 70% of chance that your June forecast will fall between 75% and 85%, and then 20% chance it will be lower than 75%, and 10% chance it will be higher than 85%. So that's exactly what the revenue management system does behind the scene. It incorporates and considers uncertainty. So that is a key word in revenue management system. And then they produce a set of outcomes with associated probability. When the market condition change and your booking pace change, this set of outcomes and associated probability will change accordingly. So here things get more interesting. Do we have any hotel marketers in the room, whether you work in marketing department, marketing strategy, or digital marketing? Can you raise your hand? Okay, just a few, very good. So when hotel marketing and revenue management align on the same type of demand forecast, you can actually drill down to much more details to look at, to create target campaigns rather than just border campaigns. And you can really work together to create an ecosystem. But the reality is silo exists. And then refer to the panel this morning, we know there's legacy panels because of various reasons. Let me tell you a story. So this is what happens in a hotel. Anna, the director of revenue management, says, we have a problem. We have underestimated the impact that new hotel opening on our corporate business. So now we are forecasting we will fall behind 10% in our annual budget by August. And Eric, the director of marketing, come to rescue. And he says, not to worry, we have a plan. We have the summer campaign ready and we can push it earlier. But 4 weeks later, Eric says, the summer campaign really delivered. We see great results. But Anna brought in the bad news. That we do have a lot of room nights, I'll give you that, but we have dropped even further in revenue, and then our market share is slipping. We need to pivot our approach. Does it sound familiar? And why is that happening? Because marketing and revenue are using different systems, different tools. We are looking at different measurement, and we even have different KPIs. Without a holistic strategy, it doesn't bring things together. So as a revenue management professional for many years, I do understand your challenge from marketing side as well. You really need is a real-time data as well as insight to get through these campaigns. So when marketer asks, what is the right time to spend on marketing and how do I do that? Especially at the hotel level, a lot of times you are looking at historical data or you are working on outdated data or you're waiting for revenue management to provide you with the reports. And then revenue management and marketing may not collaborate enough or communicate enough to keep pace with the fast-changing market conditions. And most importantly, there's a key piece of information that hotel marketers are missing. Guess what? That's your guest price sensitivity data, and which is built in the revenue management system. And we know that a lot of times hotel marketers are struggle with one question. How do I prove my ROI for these marketing campaigns? Am I driving incremental revenue, or am I just discounting the same customer? So keep these minds and challenges in our mind. I will address that later on. So to push the disconnect even further, we know that marketing and revenue are tasked with different missions. That hotel marketing is tasked to create demand with branding, with offers, with border campaigns, while revenue management manage demand through forecasting, pricing, inventory control, and distribution channels. So basically, hotel marketing and revenue management use different systems, tools, and we look at different data sets. And we have different KPIs and goals. So to address these challenges, we propose a 3-step framework of demand optimization, which is share data, proactive strategy, and teamwork. It sounds pretty basic, right? But this is good news. We will come up with technology advancement as well. So as a market leader of revenue science and solutions, we have been exploring ways to equip commercial leaders as well as hotel marketers to get access to this core data in the revenue management system, which is a prescriptive analytics for demand forecast, as well as your guest price sensitivity data. So we're working on a revenue opportunity dashboard that could actually bring everything together and to enable commercial decisions. And what's even better, because revenue management system have the changing forecast that's stored in the system. So we could actually tie back the marketing initiatives and to calculate the ROI. Are you driving incremental revenue, or are you just cannibalizing the existing revenue forecast? So stay tuned, that more announcement will coming soon. But let's stick back to the 3-step framework. The first step to breaking silo is to share data. So revenue data provide booking pace, and then it provide data about forecast and against budget, as well as reflect the market changes. While marketing's information add to additional layer that including CRM data, your guest history, channel performance, guest sentiment data through the surveys, as well as segment-based assets. So by putting revenue and marketing insight together, it forms a complete picture. And the commercial team could identify revenue opportunities. For example, which property are underperforming? And is it issue occupancy, ADR, or RevPAR? Which days are soft? And which channel, market segment, or room category need additional help? Rather than waiting for red flags to pop up, we need to take proactive strategy. And that is critical. So proactive strategy help us to avoid unnecessary discounts. It build package that sell, and also we could launch campaigns that are timely and targeted. They could even help us to reduce dependency on OTAs, incentivize the guests with the right booking behavior we want, and most importantly, to build long-term guest value. And it's not just about data and strategy. It's also about building a unified commercial mindset, culture, and building processes across the teams. So that is all about what we are talking about commercial strategy in this conference today and tomorrow. Let's do not forget about sales. Sales plays a key role in this culture building because sales take care of corporate accounts, group business that build the foundation for hotel performance. And they bring valuable insights to the table. So how do we bring all the teams together, sales, marketing, and revenue, and then build the culture together? I will give you a few practical tips. First of all, rethink your revenue meeting or revenue strategy meeting, and really make time for analytics, strategic planning, as well as collaboration. And second, invest in technology stack, or we call it bridge just now, that really help to support the effort. So select a best-in-class revenue management system, a robust CRM system, a revenue opportunity board, dashboard, and even a customer data platform. And we don't forget about leadership. Leadership is critical. So we have been seeing organizations that put different commercial teams under one umbrella and one leadership, either is chief commercial officer or chief revenue officer. And this kind of leadership really brings collaboration and sets the tone for better collaboration and commercial strategy execution. And finally, don't forget about education. That make sure everybody understands each other's goals and KPIs. And when the team speaks the same language, that's where collaboration really begins. So let's wrap up my session with 3 key takeaways. Match the right AI for the right job. Mathematical AI is proven to be the right AI for revenue optimization. And bridge the gap between revenue and hotel marketing by 3-step framework. Share data, proactive strategy, as well as teamwork. With that wraps up my session today, and thank you for your time and attention. Thank you very much.